A hospitalist,
I've never heard of one before.
I don't know, someone who works in a hospital?
Uh, who's that?
Well, a hospitalist, according to Robert Wachter, who coined the term in 1996 in a New England Journal of Medicine article, is a doctor who spends at least 25% of their time taking care of patients in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
The term hospitalist has really changed to now mean that a hospitalist spends almost all their time in the hospital taking care of patients, and the outpatient doctor spends most of their time taking care of patients in the clinic.
The hospitalist movement has really been evolving in the last recent time, probably the last 10 years in the United States. It really came out of a need to develop a cadre of people who could both care for patients in the hospital, but equally important, could help to improve the systems of care in the hospital so that quality and safety of patients was utmost. And everyone knows that quality is not just about one healthcare professional, but a whole system and how it works together. And it's been a growing movement in the US. I think there are between 10 and 15,000 hospitalists now in a new society called the Society of Hospital Medicine.
The exciting part is that Lake Ridge Health Oshawa is now, as of next year, will be one of the largest hospitalist programs probably in the country. We will have the largest number of hospitals in a single site, and we are expanding and growing. We are the most responsible physicians in general medical care, and we will help concurrently with the gamut from oncology, psychiatry, orthopedics, rehab, newborn care. Specialists are asking for us specifically because a lot of it is going to be on-call requirements. So if we are able to alleviate this issue and improve their lifestyle as well as the ability to provide work, then that attracts them here, and that's good for us and it's good for them and good for the hospital and patients.
Well, I think there are actually three driving forces. The first is that there simply aren't enough general internists in Canada, and general internists traditionally filled the role of a hospitalist. There are a couple reasons for that. One is that trainees are not choosing general internal medicine as a career path. Secondly, the general internists that are out there practicing now are at or near retirement age. The second driving force is that there are 5 million people in Canada without a doctor. What happens when those people become patients in a hospital? They need a doctor. And so hospitalists have been able to address that crisis. Hospitals and hospital groups hire doctors to become the most responsible physician, or MRP, for those unassigned or orphaned patients. The third driving force is efficiency. To have a busy family practitioner leave their office, come to the hospital to see a couple of sick patients, and then go back, by the time you've finished parking and finding your patients on the ward, et cetera, you've wasted a couple of hours. So it's an efficiency issue. It's much more efficient for the system if a doctor stays in his office and sees patients while a different doctor stays in the hospital and takes care of hospitalized patients.
Before this, I was a family physician. From my personal standpoint, I'm able to enjoy the complexity of care that hospital patients provide. Financially, it's great. I'm making good money. There's no overhead costs. Time off is good. I get good vacations. It's a relatively 9-to-5 job. There's less paperwork. I'm kept up to date.
I did it. When I was a family medicine resident and had decided to do hospitalist medicine, I thought I should get some extra training. And in fact, I was the first family medicine resident to go through the hospitalist training program.
While we have in the past had people who were trained in internal medicine or sometimes in family medicine who could provide care of hospitalized patients, this goes beyond that in trying to really develop hospital policies and procedures and develop a group of people who see this as their professional identity and their niche. And so we are trying to develop that cadre of people so that we can provide them both for Sunnybrook and of course for the local and regional and national community.
We learned how to manage complex cases. We learned different procedures, as well as certain aspects of administration and policy. We've positioned the hospitalist training program to manage the high-intensity unit. High-intensity patients are patients too sick for the floor, but not quite sick enough for the ICU. So we have 9 of those beds, 5 of which are respiratory, 4 of which are cardiac. We also have general medicine beds as well on a different unit. So we see some of the more active and some of the sickest patients in the hospital. There are 5 beds in the respiratory unit. There's 1:2 and 1:3 nursing ratio there. We work closely with the nurses and the respiratory therapist to initiate things like BiPAP and CPAP. For example, we see all the ALS patients there. We actually have 2 supervising staff physicians who help manage the team. We have Dr. Khalil Sivji, who's the head of respirology, as well as Dr. Norris, who's a staff geriatrician. With that kind of muscle behind the team, we get daily insights and daily education.
The trainees that we've gotten so far have been extremely motivated, mature, and dedicated future hospitalists. I think you're going to get a lot more on our hospital medicine training program than in a traditional month on internal medicine, because not only will we teach you about the medical issues surrounding the patient's illness, but we will focus as well on the management of the resources and the management of the patient's care as they travel through the hospital.
It's been a thrilling experience. I've thoroughly enjoyed recruiting young doctors who are dynamic and hopeful to embrace a new specialty. As a geriatrician, I provide unique mentorship for our trainees. Older people comprise the bulk of our patient population, and they have unique developmental needs tied to their age, but unique problems tied with hospitalization.
Most of the time, there's a lot of shock just because of a lot of work, because you're not only learning the new problems, but new systems as well. So they are at risk for burnout.
I felt that family medicine residency didn't prepare me for inpatient medicine. The patients who come to the hospital are sicker and very complicated. And the components I gained from this training program really positioned me to be a hospital leader as well.
We're making it more structured. One example is the HOPE curriculum. It stands for the Hospitalized Older Person Educational Curriculum. We've received a grant from the University of Toronto to implement a structured curriculum to measure knowledge, attitude, and skills of our trainees and how it improves in the context of this curriculum.
I want them to be good at what they do. I want them to be passionate about what they do, and I want them to avoid burnout.
My speculation, and it is speculation, is that it will grow by training more people, developing accreditation standards, and starting to become leaders in the country in key hospital positions. You can imagine once there is a well-developed group of people like this, they would be highly sought after in hospitals to lead clinical operations. So my sense is that this will grow as it has in the United States and be a thriving field in the future.
I think the future for hospitalists is quite bright. We're working together with the College of Family Physicians and the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons to get accreditation for this type of training.
I think it'll be great. For anybody who is going to come in here, they're going to be part of a great team. They're going to have a good salary. They're going to have a good lifestyle, good time off, vacations, and also from a professional standpoint, I feel that they have a great opportunity to contribute to effecting good change to the patients and to the healthcare system.
The quality of life is great. You work as part of a team. The income is very satisfactory. The demand is there. The complexity of inpatient care is increasing. Hospital administrator, the Ministry of Health are looking for improved efficiency in managing hospitalized older people. And we provide improved knowledge and skills. So please come and join us.
What does the future hold for me? I'm getting married.